Today we would be talking about the psychometric tools that are used for assessment of personality. Before we go into the details, as I told you right in the beginning that we would be taking only 3-4 different types of psychometric tools. I must tell you that there are large number of tools available for assessment of personality. I am talking about the psychometric ones. But gradually you would realize that if you look at the older versions of the personality assessment tools, they had large number of items compared to the tests which have developed much later, where you would realize that the number of items for these tests have reduced. So, this is an interesting development. The first personality assessment tool under the psychometric tool category that we are going to discuss is the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, MMPI. This was a very popular test, and till date in certain areas again you will find very heavily being used. Hathaway and McKinley, they came forward with this very test, which has 556 items, which are basically true, false or not sure type of responses format. So, either you tick true or you tick false or you tick not sure, and this has 14 scales, 10 clinical scales and 4 supplementary validity scales. 2 versions have come, MMPI 1 and recently you will find MMPI 2 being used. Now, look at your screen. The clinical subscales that MMPI measures are hypochondriasis, depression, conversion hysteria, psychopathic deviates, masculinity, femininity, paranoia, schizophrenia, hypomania, social introversion. It also measures subjective depression, psychomotor retardation, physical malfunctioning, mental dullness, brooding, denial of social anxiety, need for affection, whole lot of characteristics you will find that this very test tries to find out. You would realize a very interesting thing that in certain high stake professions, say for example, I can share with you in at least in the West, those who used to go to the nuclear power plants, the operators there, they were supposed to undergo MMPI, and unless you have certain score, you will not be qualified to become a nuclear power plant operator. Okay. So important was this test at one point in time, and even today in certain areas you would find MMPI being used. The other important test in psychology for assessment of personality, we have referred to this, is 16PF. Now 16PF are different 16 personality factors, but the primary factors, okay, that this test talks about are warmth, reasoning, vigilance, dominance, social boldness, openness to change, self-reliance, perfectionism, tension and so forth. 16 different factors, and you can see in the bracket A, B, L, E, this is the code that this test provides. So, these codes are given. Now, what happens in the case of 16PF? You get the items, you respond to them, and then you are assessed. What is interesting in this very assessment is that if you are high on certain qualities, you are supposed to be low on other qualities. So, I have chosen only those factors where one of the concept in this very test is given of high and low. Like if you are high on A, B and L, that is warmth, reasoning and vigilance, then you are bound to be low at E, H and Q. E is dominance, H is social boldness and Q are basically openness to change, self-reliance, perfectionism and tension. Okay. So, 16PF creates an interesting type of a situation where you have 16 different characteristics, and then you are assessed on the basis of what are you high at and what are you low at. The third and extensively used personality assessment tool is MBTI. Now, Myers-Briggs type indicator, you can even take this test online. It identifies certain psychological differences according to the typological theory of Jung. Now, right now when we were talking about word association test in the projective domain, there also we refer to Jung, and then this is a psychometric tool which is again based on the typological theory given by Carl Gustav Jung. Now, this considers personality type similar to handedness. No? So, what happens in the case of handedness? You are born with certain type of ability, okay, or you develop certain preferences. So, what happens that you develop certain preferred way of thinking and acting, okay, and based on that it has developed a very nice parameters of finding what type of combinations you have. So, this MBTI talks about certain dichotomies like introversion, extroversion, sensation, intuition, thinking, feeling, and judging and perceiving. Now, it says that, say, if you are looking at type preferences and the 16 personality types, it comes out of it. Okay. Now, look at sensing, intuiting, the columns there. So, you could be sensing thinking, you could be sensing feeling type of person, you could be intuiting feeling person, or you could be intuiting thinking person. And similarly, you will have introversion, extroversion. Okay. Now, you see here introversion, extroversion was the first dichotomy, the second dichotomy was sensation, intuition. Okay. So, now you have sensation, intuition divided into thinking and feeling for both, and then introversion, extroversion again divided in terms of judging and perceiving type. Okay. So, thinking, feeling, judging, perceiving. So, all these 4 dichotomies. So, it is a 4 by 4 matrix that is created in MBTI. Now, you look at the type preference. No? So, the first possibility is ISTJ. I stands for introversion, S stands for sensing, T stands for thinking, and J stands for judging. So, you have a combination, okay, of introversion who is sensing type, thinking, and judging type. Okay. So, this is the type preference. The second is ISFJ. So, you are now introvert, sensing, feeling, judging type. Okay. The third INFJ. So, you can make out now it is introversion, intuiting, feeling, and judging. And then the fourth one is INTJ, where you have introversion, okay, intuition, thinking, and judging. So, the first row, if you see, it gives you 4 outcomes. So, 4 and then you have another 4. So, 8 and again 4 and again 4. So, 4 4s are, finally it comes to 16. So, 16 different type of personality types you can come out of MBTI when you are looking only for the type preference. Okay. Similarly, say if I go to perceiving type, then you will have introverts who is sensing, thinking, perceiving type. Then you have introverts, sensing, feeling, perceiving type. Introverts who are intuitive, feeling, perceiving type. Introverts who are intuitive, thinking, and perceiving type. Similarly, you have extroverts who are sensing, thinking, perceiving type. Okay. So, these are no different type of 16 different types of personality types that you can come forward with. Then you can look at the temperament. Okay. So, in temperament again you have affiliative and pragmatic. On one hand, affiliative have 2 components, responding and initiating, and same with pragmatic, you could be responding and initiating type. Abstract and concrete type. Abstract is both of them are directing and informing type. So, now what you again do the same exercise as we did in the previous case. So, you again come forward with 16 different types of temperaments. Okay. So, first one would be affiliative, abstract, responding, okay, and informing. This is one. And what you would realize is that, say, again you come forward with 16 different types of combinations, and then there are words written there, no, idealist, guardian, rational, artisans. Okay. So, these are the broad temperaments. Okay. But within the same temperament you would realize okay, that you have variation. For instance, idealist, if you see, there are 4 different types of idealists, no? Affiliative, responding, abstract, directing. Then affiliative, responding, abstract, informing. Affiliative, initiating, abstract, directing, and affiliative, initiating, abstract, informing. So, likewise 4 no, combinations are there. No? So, idealist 4 different types, guardians 4 different types, rational 4 different types, and artisans again 4 different types. And then you can also look at the interaction style based on their MBTI scores. Once again, you have responding type and initiating type, okay. Again affiliative pragmatic again here, and the same thing directing and informing, and here you have abstract and concrete types. So, what happens, you have again the combinations. So, INFJ, so you are responding, affiliate, directing, abstract, responding, affiliate, directing, concrete, responding, pragmatic, directing, abstract, and responding, pragmatic, directing, concrete. Okay. So, again similar to the previous case, you have 4 chunks created here. The first one is those who chart their course, second who are behind the scenes, third who are in charges, and fourth they are the get things going people. Okay. So, 4 different subsets, and all of them have 4 different permutation combinations. Okay. So, this is very interesting test, gives you a very discrete explanation of individual characteristics you can map based on their MBTI scores. This is one of the most popularly used tests nowadays, especially in the organizational setups. Another test you will find which is called the Big 5. This is a test which has only 25 items. Now, you just look back, when we started with MMPI, MMPI had 500 plus items, and when you come to Big 5 it has only 25 items. So, why was it that psychologists suddenly decided that the number of items in individual personality assessment tools should reduce? What was the need for that? Okay, you can think of this, and similarly you can also think that why was there a need to move from say projective to psychometric or psychometric to projective, which one is better? Little later we will come to that. Let us first talk about Big 5. Now, in Big 5 what happens, you have 25 items and you have 2 extreme ends. Okay. So, strong adjustment, weak adjustment, these are the 2 extreme ends. So, the left hand side that you see here on your screen, strong adjustment, low sociability, low openness, low agreeableness, and low consentaneousness. Okay. These are basically one side of the continuum. The other side of the continuum is weak adjustment, high sociability, high openness, high agreeableness, and high consentaneousness. No? So, these are now completely bipolar type of things, and within these 2 extreme ends lies 3 different possibilities. For example, based on the score that you obtain by given on these 25 items on Big 5, you could fall in one of the categories. So, between strong adjustment and weak adjustment, the possibilities are you could be resilient, you could be responsive, you could be reactive. Okay. Similarly, low sociability and high sociability are 2 extreme ends, and the possibilities are you could be introvert, you could be ambivert, you could be extrovert. The 2 extreme possibilities of openness, low and high openness. So, the possibilities are that you could be a preserver, you could be moderate, or you could be an explorer. Similarly, for agreeableness, the extreme possibilities are you are high at it or you are low at it. Okay. From low towards high, when you move, the possibilities are you could be a challenger, you could be a negotiator, or you could be an adapter. When it comes to consentaneousness, again the extreme possibilities, when you move from low to high, the possibilities are you could be a flexible individual, you could be a balanced individual, you could be an extremely focused individual. Okay. So, what Big 5 does is that it has 5 basic characteristics: adjustment, sociability, openness, agreeableness and consentaneousness, and then you have two extreme ends, no, the low and the high end of it, and then between the low and high you have three different possibilities. So, on each of them you would now have a score. So, your adjustment score, your agreeableness score, sociability score, openness score, consentaneousness scores, okay, will say know how resilient, responsive or reactive you are, how introvert, ambivert or extrovert you are, whether you are a preserver, whether you are moderate, whether you are an explorer, whether you prefer to challenge, negotiate or adapt, are you very flexible, are you very balanced, or are you the one who is extremely focused. Okay. So, Big 5 gives you know this option. There are many more versions now, no? And as I told you that there are large number of psychometric tools available. We have, for practical reasons, we have limited time and therefore restricted ourselves only to 4 popular psychometric tools. Now, coming back to the earlier question, why is it that the number of items in psychometric tools reduced over a period of time? Okay. And how culture fair are these tests? Culture fair means if the test was developed, validated in say a Western culture, how much is it a possibility that I can use the same test using the same norm in my cultural context? Okay. This is a big issue in psychology. Okay. Most of these tests are very sensitive to certain cultural issues, and therefore, when you use it for your purpose in your cultural context, you have to be extremely careful. There is a concept of adaptation of test. So, many of the Western tools you would realize that they have been adapted, means the items have been relooked at, people have done factor analysis to realize that the major factors remains the same as it was in the original tool, okay. And also they have looked at the reliability and the validity of these tools. Why was there a need for reduction in the number of items? Perhaps and to greater extent this is true. The organizations which need your test, they tell you that they cannot give you indefinite time to complete a test. They cannot expose their employees to a testing session for very long, and therefore they demand for a very crisp type of a test. Okay. To develop tests which suits the need of the organizations, you would realize that there have been various tools which have been developed with less number of items. Unlike other types of tests, okay, like even Ising's inventory had 100 items, MMPI had 500 plus items. There are many old tools that you would realize that they have very exhaustive list of items, and these were the items which technically, if you plot it historically on the timeline, you would realize that they evolved at a time when clinical diagnosis was extremely important. So, one was the issue of items, number of items. Second, that how do I choose whether to go for a projective or a psychometric tool? The answer is extremely difficult. One, as a psychologist, you should not take up a test based on your interest, okay, that I want to use this type of a test. Rather, it would be good to take a test which basically serves the purpose for which you are trying to test the individual. For instance, if I am working in a clinical setup, I come across a case where the person is not very openly sharing the thoughts, and therefore, it is very difficult for me to find out the complexes that the individual has, and which is a source of discomfort, the source of pathology for this very individual. Now, in this type of a situation, you are it is good to use say tests like Rorschach blot test. As I was sharing that TAT is one of the tests which is very extensively used even for the selection of people in the uniformed services. Now, say if I am selecting a soldier, okay, an officer in the armed forces who would be responsible for maintaining the morale. He would be supposed to be, he is likely to be a man of character, an exemplary type of a personality, okay, who would face a very challenging circumstance, but would come forward with exemplary type of behavioral outcome. How do I assess? Now, psychometric tools, it gives you an item, it gives you a description, and then you have certain choices. It could be force choice type of a thing, yes no type of a pattern, or like MMPI where you have 3 options, yes, no and not sure, or it could be say a 5-point scale, 7-point scale, okay. But then the variation is not there, the intermediate variation is not there. And 2, you could even lie. Of course, some of these tests have lie scores as well, like MMPI has a lie score, okay. Ising's test had a lie score, okay. So, you could find that whether this individual has been consistent or not while responding to the items in the psychometric tool. Projective test takes care of this, okay. So, if you use TAT, you can very easily find out the worldview of the individual, you can very easily find out the inner conflicts, complexes of the individual, and you can very easily draw a line to find out if a person, okay, who has these many complexes could be of this type of, in these types of situations, whether this very individual would be good for my organization or not. Remember, historically for a very longer period of time, TAT has been in usage in the selection of officers for the armed forces. Situation reaction test, okay. When you induct people in the profession who would be given some tasks which are high stake tasks basically, okay. Say for example, you are chosen in the elite forces, for example, if you are say deputed in highway security. Now, you have certain degree of authority invested in you, okay. You are part of a law enforcement agency which has invested great deal of authority in you. You can stop anybody, you can check anybody, okay, you can examine somebody, you can take somebody into custody, you can file case against somebody, okay. Now, how do I ensure that the authority that I invest in a given individual who joins my forces, okay, is really a worthy person, okay. And you would realize that situation reaction test, which are very customized type of tests developed exclusively for different type of services, okay, they help you a lot in terms of understanding the complex nature of the individual whom you are trying to induct in your force, and therefore decision making becomes easier, okay. It is not that it is a foolproof thing that these people do not commit any mistake, they do not take things in their hands, but then you find that very few people who have been inducted into the service goes on the wrong track. By and large, people retain their integrity, they perform their duties with due diligence and professionalism, okay. So, situation reaction test does serve such type of a purpose, okay. Say for instance, if you have to conduct something in a group setup, for example, okay, large number of employees in a given organization, you want to identify who are the people who should be transferred to R&D section, who are the people who can be sent to negotiate with other agencies, who are the people who would be very reluctant to these changes, who are the people who would be extremely balanced if they are given certain critical tasks, okay. You can use big 5, okay. Very easily you can slot people into different categories, and then who would be better if sent at this very position in this capacity in the organization. So, all of these tests have certain beauties, okay, and depending on your need, okay, you can pick and choose any one of them. So, with this we conclude our discussion on the topic of personality. What we discussed initially was the full range of approaches that has been adopted by different schools of thoughts, how they explain how the personality of the individual emerges. We thankfully even went to the Indian construct, the Indian concept of personality, the 3 gunas, and then we came heavily on the assessment part, how personality is assessed. So, with this we complete our discussion on personality.